Hi guys. Hello. It's time for another video. I feel so inspired right now. I just watched some videos by Kyle Cease. I don't know if you know him, but if you don't know him, you should definitely check him out because he's really an inspiring personality. Anyways, I was watching a video about how your mind is constantly fighting your heart. Um, and I think this is such an important subject to talk about actually, because I know this fight so well. Um, I think for the biggest part of my life, I was just stuck in my head. I didn't really have a connection to my heart. I didn't really know when my heart was talking to me and trying to give me advice on anything. So a lot of times I also just ignored my heart. I wasn't really aware of. Um, I didn't really understand there were two voices inside of me. Sometimes I would accidentally listen to my heart. Other times I would listen to my head, and most times I would listen to my head. Because that felt safe, my head could really think about all the possibilities and the risks, and I could like really prepare for something. I could really um, think about all the consequences of a decision. And that's what I probably needed at that time. The thing is, when you actually listen to your heart, which means to your body, um, you don't know what will happen next. It's just what feels right now. And it might not make sense to your head and to your mind what your heart wants and what your body is telling you. So your mind constantly goes over to, oh my gosh, no, that's too risky. That doesn't make sense at all. I won't be safe. All that stuff. And now you have to decide what you want to listen to. You want to listen to your heart, which, by the way, knows what's the best thing for you to do, or listen to your mind, which keeps you stuck most of the time, I think. Of course, we do need the mind also to make decisions and stuff. But if something really comes from your heart, and if something feels completely right in your body and you trust that, I don't think that anything bad or wrong can come out of it. Because when you trust your heart, you're on that wave, you're on it in the flow. Like, do you remember ever making a decision that you thought was right, and then after going, oh man, I had this little voice there on the side that told me not to do it, but I did it anyway because I thought it was the better way? That was your heart trying to tell you that there's another way, but you ignored your heart and your body. And I think every time you listen to your heart entirely and trust it, there will never be a moment like this when you tell yourself, "Oh man, I wish I wouldn't have listened to my heart." I don't think anybody ever said that. Because every time you actually listen to your heart, it's the right decision for you. Um, so what we need to do is to find out when our heart is talking to us and when our mind is talking to us. Because I think we've been trained to listen to our mind more than to our hearts. Because, as I said, the things our heart wants sometimes seems a bit crazy for the outside world because it doesn't necessarily make sense on this level, but it makes sense to you. It makes sense to the path you are supposed to go in life. So a lot of people will tell you that you're wrong or that you're crazy when you start listening to your heart, or they will try to make you reconsider your decision or something like that. So we have to learn to stick to that and actually trust that. And we can only do that if we actually know what it feels like when something is right for us. So that also means that we have to start getting a connection with our bodies. And a lot of us never really had that because sadly, our society is training us to think more than to feel. And there's not a lot of people um, teach you to be aware of your body or to feel your body and get in touch with it and to actually really love it and to listen to its signals. We're trained to constantly go over our limits. How do I say? Constantly trained to go further than we are supposed to. When our body says stop here, we often don't stop. A lot of people hardly ever stop when their body is telling them to, because their mind is saying, hey, but you need to do this and you need to do that. And this person is expecting this of you. So you can't disappoint them, right? So we go over this line all the time. And eventually we get sick, we get depressed, and we wonder what's wrong with us. And the key to all of this is to start becoming friends with your body. Really appreciate it and love it and take the time to be with it and listen to it. And when it tells you to stop and to rest, then stop and rest. That is like one of the most important things. I mean, there are other ways to also get this connection, and for me, that's definitely meditating and doing yoga or doing exercising, whatever. Um, so I think everyone has to find their own way to get a connection, but the most important part is that you start to get a connection to your body and learn to listen to all the things that happen inside of there, because all the wisdom lies in your body. All the wise decisions, they lie in your body. So when something doesn't feel right for me, my stomach just pulls itself together. How do you say? Contracts itself. Yeah. So I know this doesn't feel right. If something feels good, I feel this big space expanding in my chest, and it feels good and positive. And that tells me that something is right for me and that it will feel good later as well if I make that decision. So I've really started to listen to that and to make my decisions and uh, yeah, the things I choose based on those feelings that I feel in my body. But I'm only able to do that because I've learned to listen to the signals and because I know what the signals mean, right? Because I'm taking a lot of time to get to know my body and to let it speak to me. And it's just a lot of practice, really. You have to practice that. And I do that every day in meditation in the morning. Because when you sit there, you just listen to the things that happen in your body, in your mind, whatever, and you get to know yourself way better. And that's how I practice. That's how I practice that. And I'm super grateful that I'm doing this now because, as I said, like the biggest part of my life, I had no idea what road to choose because I didn't know what was right or wrong. And now I have this tool to use. So, Kyle Cease said that it's a good thing to be out of your mind, which I really love. I think it's true. Um, Being out of your mind means not listening to this monkey circus up there all the time. It means to trust into the feelings in your gut, in your chest, in your heart, and to go with the flow and to trust life and to trust the higher power and the bigger meaning of it. And I think when you start really trusting your heart, amazing things will happen and your life will really start getting better and better. And as a person who made most of her decision based on her mind for most the most part of our life, I can really just recommend to you to really change that, because it has changed my life a lot, and I'm sure it will change it even more in the future. And it just changes everything about how you live your life and how you feel about things when you start trusting and not controlling up here all the time. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to share. I hope you liked it. If you want to say something, comment on this video, then yeah, just do that and let me know what you think and what your experiences are with this. So I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.